Oh, hey guys, how's it going? Titan Smash MTG here. Today we're here to talk about some standard bans for the announcement coming later today. I'm recording this obviously the day beforehand, but I want to give my predictions, my thought on the current state of things in standard, and just what I think is going to happen with these bans. Now I'll start off here. I'm having to re-record this because initially I'd done my video and it's already made me look like a fool, so I've had a little change of heart since then. Initial video, I was over here saying, we really don't need bans yet. This is super early in the format. We got to just let things play out. We got to quit asking for bans so soon. Maybe ban Uro. That's probably all we really need. However, if you have kept track of standard this weekend and the tournaments going on, there's been multiple Star City Games tournaments going on, and the numbers have been insane. On Saturday, there was a top 8 where I think every single deck was 4-color Omnath, maybe one non-Omnath deck, but like, I know the one-sided bracket was like 4-color Omnath, 4-color Omnath, 4-color Omnath, 4-color Omnath. And today, on Sunday while I'm recording this, there's a tournament going on, and the top 24 decks are every single one 4-color Omnath, except for a Soul Tie deck, which also still runs 4 Uro. So, ban predictions for me, what I think should happen here, just kind of get into it. Like I said, initially I was kind of under the mind of, hey, when you let things play out, let's see how things go. Let's not get too crazy with these bans. We got to let the format develop. However, as much as I hate it, man, it seems like the format's already there. We'll start with the obvious here. Uro needs to go. Uro has had his time in the sun for the last few sets, in standard. This isn't anything new. It's been a problematic card for a little while now. And I think as a whole, it seems like all these cards that have this ramp plus life gain plus big body value are it's just a lot of stuff. I know Wizards was going for the whole commander type feel in standard, but just a little bit too much value for what it does on that body. So even though you can play around it, you can beat it, that's just a lot of mana, a lot of stuff you get for 3 mana there. It's had its chance to go away. We've had all the opportunities to answer it. We just haven't. It's just too many stats on a card that good. You can't beat it. So, number 1, Uro has to go. Next up, we're talking about Omnath. Now, Omnath, as I was saying, is one that I don't think needs to go quite yet. However, after seeing the results of this tournament, I feel like there's just no way. Now, obviously, they can try different things. They can try banning the enablers like Lotus Cobra and ramp type things like that. And maybe Lotus Cobra and Uro being banned would be enough for the Omnath decks don't do much. But I think you have to just bite the bullet. I know it sucks. The set's been out for just a little bit of time and you're already banning a card, but I think Omnath's got to go. And this goes back to that same problem. If you're printing an already good card that does so many things on it, you add all this free life gain in, like just playing with Omnath, what little I played with it, it's insane how many games I play and just do my ramp plan, and then, oops, by the way, I'm at 42 life right now. Like, you just invalidate so many things of your opponent. And it really sucks to be on the other side that I know very well, where I can curve out 1, 2, 3, have a beautiful curve, just beat the shit out of them. And it's turn 4 and they're like 18 life because they've gained 12 on accident. So that's a problem, and it's something I just don't think you can do. Also, we've seen enough in the standard format and other standard formats with Reclamation, with Fire's Invention, how free mana is a problem. I think a lot of people, including maybe the developers themselves, just thought that this free mana would be a lot harder to come by, and it's not. Not even counting Lotus Cobra, it's just so easy to just play Omnath, and the next turn, just play Fable Passage. There you go, you're done. And some people are playing Evolving Wilds to make that happen too, and that's great, but you don't even have to do that. So it's just represented this big problem of play this card and you draw a card, and oh, by the way, we gain 4 life, and oh, by the way, we add 5 mana, and oh, by the way, we do 4 damage to things. It's just keyword soup on a card and just a lot of value for a little investment. And that's why, even though it's the face of this new set, even though it's a big card, and I know that hurts, it hurts Magic, it hurts Wizards, it hurts Hasbro, but I think it's got to go. You just can't have these tournament results popping up like this and expect this to stay. Now, I won't be crazy surprised if it stays for right now, but long term, it's going to get the axe, so why not just bite the bullet now? And one thing I see people talking about a lot is, oh, well, Hasbro has to make their money. Everybody has to make their money off this. Paper Magic is intended. I mean, obviously there'll be paper tournaments again and whatnot, but there's no tournaments going on right now in paper. Those sales are coming from Commander players, and that's always the biggest base. No matter how good Modern or Standard or Pioneer, whatever is, Commander is the money maker when it comes to Magic here as far as paper goes, or maybe in general. And Omnath isn't going anywhere there. So if everybody thinking they're not going to ban this for money, that's not how this works. Commander is what makes that dough for Wizards and Hasbro there. So Omnath, even though, last time I was saying we need to give it a chance, see if we can answer it, Get it out of here. Just cut the ties with it and move on. Now, lastly, for these decks, we can talk about some enablers they can maybe ban, which is Lotus Cobra, Escape to the Wilds, the Genesis Ultimatum, those three. Personally, I think they shouldn't go at all. I do think they should stay. Lotus Cobra, while yes, it is disgusting with Omnath, and it does allow you to get a turn 3 Omnath out and do some crazy things, Lotus Cobra is so versatile that it fits in a lot of decks, even if it's not just ramp. And if you take away the actual ramp problems there, you can still keep Lotus Cobra and have a lot of fun decks. So I really don't want to see Lotus Cobra go. I actually think it's a really fun card, really neat card. It's a 2/1, so it's super easy to answer. So Lotus Cobra should be here to stay, I think, and I hope it doesn't get the X. Would I be surprised if it gets cut? Not at this point. Who knows? I'm not surprised by anything anymore, man. But I would like to see Lotus Cobra stick around for a little bit. I think it's a cool card. Genesis Ultimatum, Escape to the Wilds are ones that can both also see a hit, but you're talking about 5 mana and 7 mana sorceries. Now, yes, those provide a good amount of card advantage, do a lot when they resolve. But if you're not able, if you ban Omnath, you ban Uro, then all of a sudden those things that you would usually try to ramp into, you're not going to hit off those cards anyways. And then you're talking about 5 mana and 7 mana sorceries, which if you can't answer that, then you're just not building your deck properly, because you either need to be getting on them with aggressive decks, providing a mid-range clock with bigger creatures that don't care about that, or you're playing counter spells, and 5 mana, 7 mana instants or sorceries are just super easy to answer. So I don't think that solves the problem overall, banning those things. While yes, they do kind of get out of control and their ultimate feel bads when they do pop off against you, banning the things that are actual problem underneath that is more important, to me at least. So I think that should be the way they go there. And that's it for ramp. Now, there are some people who have had ideas of maybe banning. I saw Brian Gottlieb mention that Lucky Clover, Winota, and Ember Cleaver potential ones. To go over those real quick, for one, Lucky Clover, no. Like, I hate Clover more than anybody. Not more than anybody, but I can't stand the deck. I can't stay playing against it. Lucky Clover, if you ban that, then like, why even build arounds in the first place? Lucky Clover is a 2-mana card that does nothing when you play it. It has a very specific requirement. Like, it has to be for ventures only, and otherwise you're not doing anything. So if you're playing Lucky Clover, you have to build your deck in such a way that's also a constraint where it's just not as good if you played anything else. Yes, it feels bad to get double stomped. Yes, it feels bad to get double petty thefted. But that's a risk you take when you play cards like that. And there's a lot of decks and answers out there. We still have Wilt, which you can main deck that and cycle if you don't need it. All the green decks have Gem Razor, which is a fine creature on its own. But there's been so many games, even with Team Adventure's been at the top of its game, that I've been able to just, turn 2, they play the Lucky Clover. Cool, I'm going to mutate on this Gem Razor, swing in, keep my clock going on while taking care of their play there. So, yes, it feels bad whenever Lucky Clover does this thing, but it is not a ban-worthy card. Get the fuck out of here. Talking about the other two, Winota and Embercleave. Winota I could actually see much more than Embercleave, because it kind of goes back to the problem of you're playing the small mana investment to get a huge, just unfair payoff in the end. And Winota also, you have to, there's some luck involved. You can whiff on it. You have to build your deck with certain constraints. But it does seem very easy to get a lot of value out of that isn't really meant to be the way Magic's supposed to be played. So Winota's one I could see getting the X. Do I think that happens? No. But if it happened again, that wouldn't surprise me. And lastly, and definitely not least, is Embercleave. Embercleave, if Embercleaves get banned, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll eat a salad or something. It's gonna be crazy. But Embercleave should not be banned at all, to me. It's a powerful card, of course. It's a card that can win you games that you didn't usually have a chance to be in. But it's the worst top deck on an empty board. It is a card that you have to have creatures for, multiple creatures usually, to make this power out and do this thing early on. And it really opens you up to, you Embercleave your creature, they respond with removal for it. You're just back in a big hole that you didn't plan to be in. So I think Embercleave it's fair. It's a good card, of course. We can't ban every good card in Standard. Every time a card's good, you can't be, why we need to ban it. Embercleave's not been like the top of the meta at really any point here. It's just a good card that helps these Gruul and aggressive decks kind of have a chance against some of these other bigger decks. But again, you have to work for it. It's opens you up to removal and things like that. There's just a lot that goes into it. And if we get to a point where we're banning things like Embercleave, what is wrong with Magic at that point? So I hope they don't do that. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to get my hopes up too high either way. Try to be as level-headed about it as I can be, but don't take my baby. Don't take my baby. So that's pretty much what we got. You know, from this video going up, we'll find out in 3 or 4 hours, I guess, what happens. So we can look back at this and be like, man, this Titan Smash MTG, this guy sure is smart. Or man, this guy was an idiot. He didn't get any of this right. Final predictions. Uro, Omnath get the ban. Omnath I'm not as sure on just because it is their baby. It's their pet card of the new set. But I think just after seeing these tournament results this weekend, you've got to do it. But Uro, I would be absolutely shocked if that did not go and leave the format. And it should. It needs to leave the format. We gave it plenty of work. It's had a big chance. We'll see what happens. That's all we got, though. What do you all want to see happen if it's before, you know, or if the bans are announced? What do you think will happen? Hope you all enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Love y'all. Let's go.